good. I think that was like an 8 out of 10 on what she could have responded with. Probably closer to that was very good. I don't know exactly what rating I would give it, but it was high. At a minimum 8 out of 10. I'm very interested to see what Trump is going to say about this. Because if he comes out and he actually says something similar to that, I would actually give points to Trump. Not to say that it's going to help him at all at this point. I think Trump is kind of cooked. But I think it'd be very interesting to see if he actually had a good response to this.
Also Hamas in order to get the hostages out and prevent the killing of more innocent civilians in Gaza.
If I were president, it would have never started.
Oh my lord, brother. Oh my lord, that's not the question! That's not, man! Again! Kamala Harris comes out with a banger of a statement. A banger of a statement. And then we have Trump coming out and said, if I were here, actually, school lunch would be completely free. Everyone would get double pepperoni pizza every single Friday. And it'd be completely free. No one would have ever had to have paid for school lunch before. Actually, if it becomes Kamala as president, you're gonna have to pay more for school lunch. Like, God, I feel like we're actually watching a third grader in this debate.
President Russia would have never, ever. I know.
We're not talking about Ukraine right now, brother. This is insane to me. Am I crazy? Like, you can tell me if I'm the crazy one here for thinking that this is wild. But I feel like I'm not crazy here. I feel like this is insane that he cannot actually answer a question.
Putin very well.
Like a softball question.
He would have never, and there was no threat of it either, by the way, for 4 years, have gone into
there was, dude,
and killed millions.
I don't know if he knows this, right? But Crimea was occupied. It didn't get occupied under the Trump administration. Right? That didn't happen under the Trump administration. Like, it happened under the Obama administration, but it continued to be occupied under the Trump administration. If he's as tough as he says he is, he should be saying that he got Crimea unoccupied. Like then he would have a leg to stand on. He would have a leg to stand on if he said that, and if that actually happened. If he actually got Russia out of Crimea, and then Joe Biden took office, and then Russia re-invaded Ukraine. But no, Russia had invaded Ukraine long ago, and was still in there when Trump was in office.
Millions of people, when you add it up, far worse than people.
You're crazy. You should be asleep. I know I should be, but I didn't golf today. I'm golfing on Thursday. I shouldn't want to say that in the tweet. I didn't want to be like, actually, you know.
When he went to Congress to make a very
important it'll be Thursday. So Thursday, I will be absolutely dead. Today, I'm only like a little tired. I'm actually fine.
She hates Israel. If she's president, I believe that Israel will not exist within 2 years from now. And I've been pretty good at predictions, and I hope I'm wrong about that one. She hates Israel. At the same time, in her own way, she hates the Arab population. Because
she hates everybody. Okay, hang on. Can we get a tally of everybody that Kamala Harris hates according to Donald Trump? Police. She hates police. She hates Arabs. She hates Israel. I think he said she hates the American people. She hates fracking. She probably hates little Sheldon, young Sheldon, which I do too, so she's kind of based for that one. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I saw your tweet. It was very nice, by the way. Thank you. It was a good first day. It was a good first day. So, thank you, my friend.
The whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people. Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different spheres of terror, and they are spheres of terror, horrible terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation, and
This is
now
a tough
what
watch.
they're doing
Yeah.
is they're spreading that money around. Look at
I'm
what's
actually
happening
going to
with
turn it
Libya
down to
and
talk,
Yemen.
just so
Look
we can
what's
get through
going
what
on
Trump is saying
politically.
faster.
This would have never happened. I will get that.
No, you just the debate in general. No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. No, I'm 100% in the same mindset. This cycle is happening every single time they speak. Trump says something absolutely incoherent that is not pertaining to the questions asked at all. Then Kamala Harris, there's two options for Kamala Harris. She has two dialogue options. One, she'll actually say an incredibly based take and talk about how she actually wants to help fix the problems that are facing the everyday American in this country. Which, I have to give her credit. Every time she's done that, I've been like, damn, that's a really good statement right there. That's actually very encouraging. Or dialogue option B, which is like the evil option. She'll stoop to Trump's level and be like, actually, Donald Trump hates this thing, and Donald Trump is not good for this. And while most of the time she's actually is bringing in like legitimate things that Donald Trump has done in the past, like she brought up Charlottesville. Again, it's like you stoop to his level, and you're kind of losing me at that point. I don't want to hear about all these things that we already know about Donald Trump. I want to just continue to hear how you're gonna make things better in this country.
I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well
He looks
known
pissed.
that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is
Again,
well
she
known
picked
that
the other
he admires
dialogue option.
dictators, wants to be a dictator.
She picked the other dialogue option. And again, like, the more you talk about Donald Trump, the more strength you're actually giving him. The more you're able to, like, I don't know, you're feeding into his ego, right? So if she just continues to deflect and then talk about how she's actually gonna like try and fix all these situations facing the country, it works so well. It's actually where Hillary Clinton failed in the 2016 election, because again, she fed into a lot of Donald Trump's bullshit because nobody knew how to deal with him. That's why he looked so good back then in comparison. I never voted for Donald Trump, to be honest. Like, you know me. I'm usually, I'm unbiased in this stream, right? I'm unbiased, but I've voted left a lot of the time. A lot of the time. But that's why I could understand where people were seeing Donald Trump and being like, man, he's making these career politicians look pretty bad. And it's like, yeah, they have no clue how to deal with his antics. She is like 50-50 on whether or not she's dealing with it perfectly or she's feeding into it and giving him those opportunities to get back into it, which he keeps failing at the skill checks. He's playing Dead by Daylight, and he's fixing a generator, and if he's on it with me and he's fixing the generator with me, he keeps failing the skill check and fucking up our progress. And at which point I'm yelling at him. I'm like, Trump, like, all you have to do is not miss the skill check. You don't have to hit the white. You just have to hit it in that little bar. And as long as you do that, we're fine. I'll hit all the rest of the skill checks. You're good. And he goes, I got this one. Don't worry. And then he misses and it blows up and it gets rid of your progress. And you're like, God fucking damn it, Trump. Get off the generator. And he goes, no, I can do it. Sorry. that's my Dead by Daylight comparison for the day.
On day one, according to himself, it is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged
Did he actually say that?
love
Because that's
letters
crazy.
with Kim Jong-un, and it is
He did do that.
absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They can manipulate you with flattery and favors.
I definitely
and that
do.
is why
I totally live in a
so
swing
many
state.
military leaders who you have worked with have told me You are a disgrace.
I
That is
hate
why.
this. I hate this. Look, I get. Oh man. Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I get if she was doing this out of the debate, but like in debate, it just feels so middle school. To be like, I talked to your friends and they all said that you're really dumb and they don't like you. Like that, I don't like this part of the debate. I really like when she talks policy.
We understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong on
Vice
national
President
security,
Harris.
including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
They're the ones, and she's the one that caused it, that's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168
Again.
different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed
This
her
is the
last
fourth
week,
time he said this
I hope
tonight.
she wins, and I think he meant it, because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me.
Dude, he said
Leaders
this is
of
the third
other
time he said it
countries
wouldn't have
think that
happened
they're
with
weak
me.
and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest?
Because wasn't Keystone going through Native American land and that was a whole big issue? Wasn't that the reason? It wasn't because like they want to get rid of like natural resources or anything, natural gas. It was legitimately that they were going to occupy like reservation land to make the pipeline. And there was like massive protests against it. I think that was actually the reason. I could be wrong. I'm willing to admit I could be wrong there. But wasn't that it?
Pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany and all over Europe because they're weak and they're ineffective. And Biden, by the way,
President
gets paid
Trump,
a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
I like the moderators actually. They're kind of funny.
The National Constitution Center right here in Philadelphia. Back in a moment.
Okay, perfect. I can actually skip. I can skip all this stuff. Nice, 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 nice.
Premieres Tuesday, September 24th.
I can skip the
9
commercials.
Central, only on PBS.
I mean, they could have done that. They very well could have. But I think they were just gonna take it and be like, "Yeah, sucks to be you guys."
Welcome back to this historic ABC
Not give them
presidential
anything.
debate tonight.
They weren't even gonna pay him for the
Now,
land, I don't
return to
think.
the war in Ukraine. We're now 2.5 years into this conflict. Mr. President, it has been the position of the Biden administration that we must defend Ukraine from Russia, from Vladimir Putin, to defend their sovereignty, their democracy.
This is probably okay. So this is probably gonna be my most biased take of the night, but I do fully believe that the U.S. military should be backing Ukraine. We shouldn't be sending troops in. Obviously, I don't want U.S. troops to be sent to Ukraine, but I don't understand why we aren't sending more weapons. I think monetary additions to the Ukrainian military, I don't really understand as much when we're sending them like a ton of money. But like I don't like we have so many weapons in our arsenal. We have we actually like our stockpiles are insane. I don't know why we aren't sending more weapons. And I don't understand why that's a big like debate topic. Like should we not be helping like a country that is actually our ally defend its sovereignty? That to me confuses me. Ukraine can never defeat Russia. No, but I would hope that they're able to, at the very least, hold on to the territory that they have, and use. So they took ground in Russia. I would hope that they would be able to use some of that to maybe negotiate for Russia to leave the entirety of Ukraine. Again, in my perfect world, right? I want Ukraine to be its own sovereign nation and not have to worry about Russia attacking them. Or any country for that matter, worry about Russia attacking them. And I think realistically all of NATO should be backing Ukraine. Like in terms of military. Monetarily, like I think I understand monetarily in terms of like rebuilding their society after it's been bombed to hell. That's what I would understand it for. I don't understand sending them money for like military spending if instead we can just send them the military equipment that they need. That would be my hope. I would like for like a very swift end. Russia leaves, but I know that's not going to happen. That's the optimistic view in me.
Democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries.
I think that is
You
absolutely
said
true.
you would solve this war in 24 hours. You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And
I'm interested to hear this if he actually says something of substance.
To win this war.
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions.
No, I think what he actually wanted was for NATO to instead for all of NATO to instead send the weapons and military equipment, and the US wouldn't because they're not in Europe, if I'm not mistaken. Is that not what he said before? Which I think is insane. The US just has an insanely large military, an insanely large that we do not need to use. Like, we're not in a war. We're not like even close to being in a war. The closest we're being to being in a war is probably number one with Russia, if they decide to actually like escalate the war and, you know, like nuke Ukraine or push into another country, then the US would be like, oh fuck, now we have to go to war. Or in Israel, if what's it called? Is it the Houthis? If the Houthis decide to actually launch an invasion into Israel, then the US said that they would back them. I don't believe that there's actually going to be a war that happens. A lot of Europeans know not to piss off Russia. We have ties to Russia. We need to bring them back into the Western sphere again. Yeah, I think it's more nuanced than I really know how to deal with. I think there's a lot more nuance to the situation than I can personally say. I do think that Russia needs to be held accountable for attacking a sovereign nation and occupying their lands for what is it, like over a decade now in Crimea. I think that needs to be addressed. But I do kind of agree. I like in an ideal world, we would love for them to just leave and then be like, look, you're in timeout. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna generally like slowly bring you back into like full trading routes and bring you into more political talks, and hopefully they would then be more receptive, and hopefully Vladimir Putin would be out of office and they would actually have fair and free elections. And you know, but like that's the thing. They obviously do not have fair and free elections. They have a very clear dictatorship, a very clear one, despite the fact that they have elections. They're very clearly rigged. And I think that that's not great in terms of adding them into a larger society. So I think they'd have to have that stuff ironed out first before I would be fully comfortable with them coming back into the, you know, the sphere again. But ideally, you'd want every country in the world, not just the European ones. We want every country to be able to be, you know, stable and willing to work together. But that's a perfect world, and we're not in a perfect world. We're just trying to make it better one day at a time, right?
Billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars.
He has not said anything of substance about how he would fix the Ukrainian war in 24 hours, though.
Like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said,
our military spending outspends theirs combined. That is why we are sending so much in terms of like monetary value of military gear. That is why. It's not because, you know, we have this innate thing to like you know, send them this crazy amount of money, and NATO isn't. NATO just doesn't spend as much on military as us. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm like, dude, I'm like low key. I don't mean to say that I'm like bored of this. I just get bored of the fact that Trump just says the same things over and over and over again, and we just kind of like talk in circles. Like, and this is a new point, I guess. But yeah, the U.S. just spends an insane amount of money on the military. That's why we send more than NATO combined. It's because we have the first, second, and third largest militaries in the world. Like, that's why. Hey, thanks, man. Thank you. I think we're doing all right tonight in our first, debate stream ever, right? I think we're doing all right.
I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2.
I think the difference between Trump and Biden is that, like, Biden, you kind of respect, like, you respect, like, an old dude that's just, like, he's still trying to go, right? He's still trying to get things done, but he's old, and he doesn't know how to do things anymore, and he doesn't really know how to speak either, but, you see him walking down the street, and you're like, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. There's not really much else, like, you don't want to hear his political takes, because more than likely you'll be like, ooh, that's outdated. But you look at him and you go, you know what, you're still kicking. Good for you, man. Trump is that old dude that will come up to you and tell you his political beliefs, and you'll be like, hey, man, I don't really want to talk about this kind of stuff, and then he'll get mad at you and call you a commie and say that actually no one even really likes you anyway.
2 years to Putin. Hasn't spoken to anybody.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I
Dude, this is insane.
saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left. I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David.
No,
we're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know.
It won't.
Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they
here,
threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president?
Okay, we got the Trump special. They threw him out of the campaign like a dog. Shot him down the street like a dog. It's the perfect Shane Gillis bit. Killed him like a dog. Okay, if there's one good thing that's coming from this side of the debate, it's that we're getting some classic Trump one-liners. That's funny. That's funny.
But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
your time is up.
Okay, wait, okay. Those two statements were pretty funny. Those two statements were pretty funny. Again, he said nothing of substance. He said nothing. That is a 0 out of 10 in terms of that answer. But at the very least, he said a couple of funny things. The thing is, 2016 Trump was like, he was just saying insane things and just kept rattling from point to point to point to point to point, because he had so much more energy, like you said, James. He had so much more energy, so he's just going to, like, I guaranteed he's off of Adderall or something. He's definitely off of Adderall now, and he's not as fast as he was, and he can't think of as many things on the spot, so he just keeps saying the same things over and over. But like right there, you got a little glimpse of why I think a lot of people in 2016 liked him. Was because he would just say things that were crazy and zany, and people were like, "Ooh, maybe that's what we need for the country." And while people like me were like, Like, I don't like the career politician that we have, but I'm gonna vote for them because I don't want to roll the D&D dice and pray that I get a nat 20 and end up getting like a 1. I don't want to take that risk. There was a significant amount of people. You can't deny it that there was in 2016 there was a significant amount of people that wanted to roll that dice. And then we got COVID. So it's like, we had probably the worst response to COVID. Want a Rosie O'Donnell reference? That honestly, it should be. If we had a bingo card, it'd be on there. I would put some money on that. Yeah, his 2016 energy. Again, I wasn't a fan of Donald Trump. I voted against him. That was my first election voting, actually. I would have voted for Bernie Sanders. But again, like Bernie Sanders didn't get the nomination. That's typical Democratic Party kind of shooting themselves in the foot with their candidate. But I still voted Democrat because I was hoping that the policies would end up being all right. And obviously they lost, so it didn't really matter. But I can see why some people, especially that weren't as in tune with politics, would be like, oh, because even I would say it all the time. I'm like, man, if he wasn't running for president, it would some of the stuff would be pretty funny. Some of the stuff is pretty funny. That's why you get so many good parodies, like Shane Gillis, for example. That's why it's so funny, because he does it, and it's like, yeah, I could actually picture Trump saying all of these things.
Clarifying the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this to Vice President Harris. I want to get your thoughts on support for Ukraine in this moment, but also as Commander-in-Chief, if elected, how would you deal with Vladimir Putin, and would it be any different from what we're seeing from President Biden?
Well, first of all, it's important to remind the former president you're not running against Joe Biden, you're running against me. I believe the reason that Donald Trump says that this war would be over within 24 hours is because he would just give it up. And that's not who we are as Americans. Let's understand what happened here. I actually met with Zelensky a few days before Russia invaded, tried through force to change territorial boundaries, to defy one of the most important international rules and norms, which is the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity. And I met with President Zelensky. I shared with him American intelligence about how he could defend himself. Days later, I went to NATO's eastern flank, to Poland and Romania. And through the work that I and others did, we brought 50 countries together to support Ukraine in its righteous defense. And because of our support,
no threats on my computer, let's go!
The ammunition, the artillery, the javelins, the Abrams tanks that we have provided, Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. And understand with
Look, this is a personal take, and again, unbiased reporting here, but if I were to have an opinion on this, I do believe that more than likely Ukraine would absolutely be left out to dry if Trump became president. Unbiased, of course. Unbiased. But I just don't see a way that Trump actually backs Ukraine. I think he, again, I think he just is in the pocket of Russia a little bit too much. Especially, dude, we see that Russia is in the U.S. media with everything that happened with Tenet Media. I think there's probably more than what we actually see. I would not be surprised if he's getting a little cha-ching on the side. You know what I mean? Allegedly. And of course, this is not me saying this because I'm unbiased. The most unbiased there ever has been.
What that would mean, because Putin's agenda is not just about Ukraine. Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president, and that we understand.
Can we get her like an Apple box or something so they can be the same height? That was kind of crazy. He is a pretty tall guy.
To preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000
I do actually agree that he
Polish
probably
Americans
would try
right
and
here in Pennsylvania how
take some
quickly
other
you would
spots.
give up
I
for the sake
I know that Putin wants to reestablish the Soviet Union, so it's like this is a very good point about the fact that I don't know about like pushing the Donald Trump stuff. I would just like her to focus on Russia's plans for the future, as well as how that would affect the U.S. economy, the U.S. people, stuff like that. I don't like how much it turns back to Donald Trump. I want her to talk about what she can do for the American people.
sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Vice President Harris, thank you. We've
Damn.
heard from both of you on Ukraine tonight.
That was kind of
Afghanistan came up
sexual.
in the last hour.
Do you think she meant it that way?
I wanted her to respond to something you said earlier, and please, I'll give you a minute here.
Putin would be sitting in Moscow, and he wouldn't have lost 300,000 men and women, but he would have been sitting in Moscow. Quiet, please. He would have been sitting in Moscow, much happier than he is right
Man,
now.
dude, this is
But eventually, you know, he's got a thing that other people don't have. He's got
low key. They should just let them fight. I'll say it now. We're in the stream. We're an hour and 49 minutes, almost exactly into stream. I think they should just let them actually fight. Bare knuckle brawl live on stream right now. Cause the look that she's given him and the look that he's given her, like I feel like they would actually like get animalistic. And it'd be crazy to watch. I would want to see that.
nuclear weapons. They don't ever talk
I don't
about
know who would win.
nuclear
See,
weapons.
he's older,
Nobody ever
but
thinks
he's a
about that.
big guy,
And
right?
eventually,
So she's got like
Putin
she's got
is a
age,
weak,
and
has
she's
been
probably
good,
more nimble. But he's
they
just as
have
like
that.
he's like a
Something we
bear.
don't
He's
like to talk
big.
about. Nobody likes
So
to
it'd
talk
actually
about
be
it.
like
But
actually a
just so
pretty
you
close
understand,
fight.
They sent her to negotiate peace before this war started.
Peter Mikes
3
is
days
ridiculous.
later,
It's a debate.
he
I
went in
agree.
And he started the war because everything they said was weak and stupid. They said the wrong things. That war should have
Everything he
never
said was
started.
weak
She was the
and
emissary.
stupid.
They sent her in to negotiate with Zelensky and Putin, and she did. And the war started 3 days later.
Vice
And
President?
that's the kind of talent we have with her. She's worse than Biden. In my opinion, I think he's the worst president in the history of our country. She goes down as the worst vice president in the history of our country. But let me tell you something.
Now, we have some
She
pretty
is a
bad ones.
horrible negotiator. They sent her in to negotiate as soon as they left.
Yeah, I don't like to mute a
did the
mics. I think they
invasion.
should just let them yell at each other for a little bit, and then the moderators will step in.
Vice President Harris, have you ever met
Because
Vladimir
again, it's
Putin?
like
Can you clarify
if
that?
she just actually talks
Again, I said at the
policy,
beginning of this debate, you're
she
gonna
just
get a
like
bunch of
owns
lies
him,
from
and
me.
every time he tries to like,
And that is
she could
what
just
I
turn and be like, "What is your
When I
policy
went to
position then?
meet with President
What are you
Zelensky,
gonna
and I met with him
say
over 5
that like
times,
of substance?"
the reality is it has been
That's the way you
about
win the
standing
debate.
as America
Just
always
talk your shit, and when they
as a
try and interrupt you,
leader
you just be like,
upholding
"Okay, so
international
what are you gonna
rules
do
and
then?"
norms, as a leader who shows strength, understanding that the alliances we have around the world are dependent on our ability to look out for our friends and not favor our enemies because you adore strongmen instead of caring about democracy. And that is very much what is at stake here. The President of the United States is Commander-in-Chief, and the American people have a right to rely on a president who understands
Is the debate already
significance
over?
of America's role
I think
and
it is.
responsibility in terms of
I think it's actually
ensuring
already
that there is
over.
stability and ensuring we stand up for our principles and not sell them for the benefit of personal flattery.
I can't
We
tell.
talked about Ukraine and Vladimir Putin. I do want to talk about Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of this debate. I want to move on to Afghanistan.
Stoltenberg said Trump did the most amazing thing I've ever seen. He got these countries, the 28 countries at the time.
Sorry, I wanna just show you guys.
He said, "I've never seen." He's the head of
let
NATO.
me just
He
swap
said,
my
"I've never
cam
seen."
real quick.
For years, we were paying.
I have to show you guys
almost
something
all of
important that I
NATO.
opened.
We were being ripped off by European nations.
Hang on, I
both
gotta
on
close a
trade
couple of
and on
notifications.
NATO.
You guys
I
can
got
still
them
hear.
to pay up by saying
You
one
can
of the
still hear
statements
Trump
you made
talking.
before, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you.
I
Otherwise,
opened
we
up
would have
Twitter,
paid
and this
us."
is the
He
first
said
thing
it
I
was
see.
one of the most
Can you imagine
incredible
ripping
jobs
20
that he's
beers
ever
and
seen in the
driving
United
back in
States.
this
I
thing?
want to turn to Afghanistan. It came up in the first hour of the debate, and we witnessed a poignant moment today.
That's what my
after
Twitter is
Congress
like
died
90% of the time.
in the chaotic withdrawal from
Sorry, I
Afghanistan.
felt like I had to
Ask the
interrupt the
Vice
debate to
President,
show you guys that.
do you
That's a pretty
believe he
important
bear
thing.
Any responsibility in the way that
That's
withdrawal
pretty
played out?
important.
Well, I will tell you, I agreed with President Biden's decision to pull out of Afghanistan. 4 presidents said they would, and Joe Biden did. And as a result, America's taxpayers are not paying the $300 million a day we were paying for that endless war. And as
I
of
can agree.
today,
I can
there is
agree.
not
It was the
one
right call to pull out,
member
but I
of
think
the
the way they
United
did it was
States
wrong.
military who is in active duty
But
in a
also,
combat zone in any war
Donald
zone around
Trump
the world,
was the
first
one who
time
set
in
it
a
in motion.
century.
So it's like
But
he
let's
can't talk
understand
shit about
how
them
we got
pulling out of
to where we are.
Afghanistan
Donald
because it
Trump,
was
when he
literally
president,
his call to do it, and he
negotiated
set the plan up.
one of the weakest deals you can
Imagine if
have.
it was a
He called
warthog,
himself
even
the
less
deal
control.
maker. Even
Yeah,
his national
dude. Oh my
security
god.
advisor
And you're
said
just,
it was a
dude, you're
weak,
just back
terrible deal.
wheels
And here's how it went
drifting.
down. He bypassed
But also the
Afghan
ghost,
government.
the ghost has
He
boots.
negotiated directly with a
Like
terrorist
imagine hitting a
organization
dirt
called the
patch and
Taliban.
just like
The
flying
negotiation
off the
involved
freeway in a
Taliban gave
ghost.
5,000 Taliban terrorists.
Sorry, I don't know what
released.
I'm saying,
And
bro.
Get this. No, get this.
My brain might actually be
The
fried from
president
this.
At the time, invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor.
I'm actually,
the
yeah,
importance of
this might have
American
actually, this
diplomacy,
might have been
where
the
we
tipping
invite
point
and
in my day,
receive
like frying my brain.
respected world leaders. And this
I'm running on like,
former
I think I ended up getting 5 hours. I slept 2 hours last night, and then I think I got another 3 hours after work. So I'm on not like not the least amount of sleep I've ever gotten, but I'm on not a lot.
To be commander-in-chief with a level of respect.
And I'm listening to two people just complain about one another, and occasionally one of them make a pretty good comment about how they're going to help the American people. I'll invite the Taliban to a bread stream. Look at, okay, if they donate, if they donate 100 subs to my Twitch,
Yeah, thank you. So, if you take a
I'll
look
go
at
to
that during this
Afghanistan.
time,
I'm kidding, by the way.
Taliban
U.S.
is
government, if you
killing
actually are watching my
our
stream, if
soldiers,
anyone
a lot of
from the
them,
U.S. government is
it's
watching, that was a joke.
And I got
That was a
involved
joke.
with the
I
Taliban
promise. I did not
because
mean
the
that.
Taliban
I
was
would
doing
never
everything
hang out with the
that's funny
Taliban,
close within
even if they
Afghanistan.
gifted me
They don't
100
do that
subs.
because, they deal with the wrong people.
Maybe if they gifted me
I got
150,
involved.
that's
And
another joke.
Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed.
Did he just,
We
hang
did have
on,
an agreement
hang
negotiated.
on, hang on. Did he just admit that he threatened to bomb the house of the leader of the Taliban, which more than likely is a war crime because he probably has like a family living there. So Trump is more than likely admitting to threatening to blow up this dude's family. Okay, all right, man. Like I'm not joking. He took that straight from Sicario. I think he actually probably watched Sicario last night and was like, I'm gonna use that in the debate. We need to work on your sleep, get you match ready every day. True, dude. Yeah, no, I just got woken up last night. It was all good though. It was all good. I woke up. I went to bed at 10, right? Or I went to bed at 10:30, and I woke up at 12:30, and then I was up until 4, and I left for work. And I worked until 10 today, so I stayed late. So I worked 4:30 to 10. Got home, had lunch, hung out with my nephews for a little bit, went up and took like a 3-hour nap. Woke up with a migraine, went to the gym. Actually, funny story. Sorry, taking a pause from this just so I can yap a little bit. I went to the gym after my nap, and I had such a bad migraine, so I took some Excedrin, and I didn't give it long enough to kick in before I went to the gym. I didn't have any caffeine either before. So I ripped a couple of rice cakes and then I went to the gym. I was supposed to do chest day. So I sat down on a seated chest press, which is like I'm literally sitting like this and like hang on. I'm gonna back up so I can show you exactly what it looks like. And I'm gonna try not to show you my scrotum because I'm wearing shorts with boxers underneath. So you basically let me pull this further. You basically sit like this, handles here, and you have to use your feet to lift the weight and push it. And then you take your feet off, and then you can start going. And every time I pushed the weight, it felt like I was being stabbed in the side of my head. So I did 3 sets of that before I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So I went and did 20 minutes on a treadmill, just walking an incline. Walking a 12 incline on 3 speed for 20 something minutes. I don't know. I felt bad. I felt bad that I didn't do a lot in the gym. But I was like, at the end of the day, I was like, yeah, I'm happy I at least went. And I got some. I did get some cardio in, right?
By Mike Pompeo. It was a very good agreement.
But I wish I did more. I think the lack of sleep caught up to me hard there and gave me that migraine. And I should have waited like another 30 minutes for the Excedrin to kick in. And then I would have been good to actually do a full workout.
$85 billion worth of brand new, beautiful military equipment behind. And just to finish, they blew it. The agreement said you have to do this.
I did see my friend Nate, though. Braden, I don't know if you're here. I saw Nate at the gym today. He's looking good, man. He has a nice haircut. He was looking very good.
Didn't do what
I love
they were
him.
supposed to do.
I want to move on.
And these people did the worst withdrawal and, in my opinion, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. And by the way, that's why Russia attacked Ukraine, because they saw how incompetent she and her boss are.
President Trump, thank you. I want to move on now to race and politics in this country. Mr. President, you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black." I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is.
Okay. See, this is another topic that I'm like, I don't know how to talk about this one. I'm like the whitest dude. I'm like the whitest dude you could think of. I'm like, if someone said, hey, what does a white dude look like? Someone would pull up a picture of me, right? So like, I don't know how to talk about race stuff. I'm more than likely just gonna watch this part and probably only speak on, you know, if something is like really crazy, which this is really crazy.
Deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with
Dude,
me.
I would love
Those were
to.
your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is
I need to hang out with Gandalf and hit
not
whatever's
black.
in his pipe.
That she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
Either one's okay with me.
I think it's, I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career,
You're a nice guy.
attempted
Don't
to
reduce
use
it to your
race
skin
to
color.
divide the
No, I
American
don't think it has anything to do with my
You know,
race.
I do believe that the
I
vast
just
majority of
legitimately
us
do
know
think
that
I
there's
am
so
like
much
an
more common
insanely
separateness,
like
and we don't
pasty
want
guy.
this kind of approach that is just constantly trying
I
to
either,
divide us. And
if I
especially
go out
by
into the
race.
sun
And let's remember,
and I don't wear sunscreen, I will
Donald
be
Trump
red
said
for
it.
2
He was
weeks, and I will go right back to being
land,
like,
he owned land,
you know,
he owned
ghostly white.
buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember,
He did
this
do
is
that.
The same individual
He did do
who
that.
took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do. I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor. We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? Knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
Vice President Harris, thank you. Lindsay?
President Trump, this is now your third time.
This is the most divisive presidency in the history of our country. There's never been anything like it. They're destroying our country, and they come up with things like what she just said.
Sorry, I had to respond to a
many,
text.
many years, when a lot of people, including Mayor Bloomberg,
Had to talk fantasy
agreed
football
me
with a
in the
friend.
Central Park 5, they admitted.
This question
they
seems
said
stacked
they
against
pled
Trump. Very
guilty.
balanced, ABC.
And I said, well, if they pled guilty, they badly hurt a person.
Yeah, I can agree. I can agree with you that they
pled guilty. Then they pled, we're not guilty. But
they
this
did
is a
stack
person
this one against
that
Trump.
has to stretch back years, 40, 50
I think
years ago.
to play devil's
This is
advocate
nothing now.
at the
I
same
built one of the
time,
greatest
Trump
economies in the history of the world.
does
I'm
have
gonna
a
build it again. It's gonna
pretty
be
big
bigger, better, and
history of
stronger.
not
But
exactly
they're
being
destroying
the
our
most
economy.
racially
They have no idea
sensitive
what a good
person.
economy is.
Which,
Their
if you're a
oil
normal
policies, every
person,
single policy.
that
And
usually
remember
would
this,
not be a thing that is
she
brought
is
up.
Biden.
But he
You know,
is
she's
running
trying to
for
get away from
president, so
Biden.
it's
I
like
don't know the gentleman, she says.
I think bringing it up in
She
a debate
Biden.
is kind of
The
crazy
worst inflation we've
in
ever
terms of
had.
like the
A
moderators
horrible
doing it.
economy because
But I mean,
inflation
I don't
has
know.
Made it so bad.
Again,
She
I
can't get away with that.
Thank you. Your time is up.
yeah.
I want to respond to that, though. I want to just respond briefly. Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump.
I am interested to
And
see
what
if
I
they
do
bring up
offer
anything
is a
about
new
like
generation of leadership for
well, I
our
guess you know what
One who
what they have brought up some things
in
that were
what is
stacked against
possible, one who brings
Kamala
a sense of
Harris, and one of them
optimism
was the
about what we
Israel
can do
Palestine
instead of
issue.
always disparaging the American people. I believe in what we can do to
Okay, hang on.
strengthen
I'll expand
our
on that in
small
1 second.
businesses, which is why I have a plan. Let's talk about our plans and let's compare the plans. I have a plan to give startup businesses $50,000 tax deduction, to pursue
This is a
their
great point.
ambitions, their innovation, their ideas.
This is
their
what we've
hard
been
work.
watching
I
for.
have a plan, $6,000 for young families for the first year of your child's life, to help you in that most critical stage of your child's development. I have a plan that is about allowing people to be able to pursue what has been fleeting in terms of the American dream by offering a help with down payment of $25,000 down payment assistance for first-time home buyers.
Damn, that's
the
actually sick.
Conversation, I believe, David, that people really want tonight, as opposed to a conversation that is constantly about belittling and name-calling.
Okay. She actually, dude, she might have been stream sniping right there. She might have been stream sniping. She might have been watching the Bread Official live stream. Because like that's what we've been saying all night, right? We've been saying we hate the middle school bullshit where they're just making fun of each other and they're saying my friend said that you don't like this, my friend said that you're dumb, blah 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 blah. Like, oh my god, she brought up actual like talking points and she brought up her plan. Those dude, a $25,000 down payment assistance program for first-time home buyers is fucking incredible. And again, it doesn't exactly fix the problem, but it is a step in the right direction. That's what you want. You want to, again, we're never going to get perfect politicians, right? Because inherently politicians are not the greatest people for the most part. There are a couple that are all right that I would consider very good people. Not very good people, but I would consider good people because they actually want what's best for the American people. But that right there is what you want out of a politician. Someone who says, let's talk about our plans. Here are my plans. And they list out their plans. That's what you want, man. That's exactly what you fucking want. And if they allow Trump to respond to this and he gives his plans, then we have a debate. Then we have something of substance that news stations should be talking about. But instead, all we're gonna get is like each news station being like, did you see that Trump called out Kamala Harris on the Ukraine war? Oh my god, did you see Kamala Harris call Donald Trump out about being racially insensitive? It's like those things don't matter in US politics. That's a social media debate. That's a social media problem. That's like, oh, who's getting canceled for what? Let's talk about what matters, man. Yes. Yes! I love that. That is why we're watching this debate.
Turn the page
Vice President
and move
Harris.
forward.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I got excited.
President
Let's
Trump,
turn back
we
to
have
policy.
to move on. President Trump.
Let's turn to policy, please.
Okay, they're turning to policy. Honestly, low key, let him speak. I want to hear what he has to say.
To defund the police. She has a
No, Trump. Oh, man. Okay, I like unbiased reporting. Trump is absolutely throwing right here. This is the equivalent of saying that you're a Smurf. You're saying you're a Smurf in Valorant, but you're going 5 and 32 on Jet. And everyone on your team is, and you're baiting the whole time too, and your teammates just keep saying, Jet, can you just entry for us? You're last alive every round. You're saying, no, you guys are trash. I Smurf your peak.
plan to confiscate everybody's gun.
President Trump,
She
we
has
do
a
have to
plan
move on to
not
other
allow
issues.
Dude, oh my god. Dude, she actually cooked him. Where's this energy coming from? Fossil fuels are in that chick. Actually, low-key, I forgot to take my creatine today. I gotta go up and do that in a second. Dude, I think the energy came from the fact that that is like actually a very exciting thing for like US politics, when a politician actually has plans that they can articulate and they don't sound like dog shit, right? Because like there's so many times where like you find out about bills that are being put through Congress and they just like they're so demoralizing, right? Okay, something that got put through Congress but was a good bill that got shut down, like Jon Stewart's like helping the veterans that were affected by burn pits in the Middle East and how hard it was to get through that. Like that's a demoralizing thing in politics, because that should be a grand slam of a piece of policy, right? We should want to help veterans that went and served their country and are suffering the after effects of that. And the fact that there were politicians that didn't want to do that on both sides is very demoralizing. This is great that you have someone who not only is a politician, who there are some things that I massively disagree with her on, but she's putting out things that actually make sense. Yeah, Mitch McConnell is one of those people that, man, like there are people like him on the Democratic side, but he's one of those Republicans that will like say he's gonna back a piece of legislation, but then like he like recently, like within the past like 8 years, Trump would say that he didn't like that and he would immediately pull his support from it, and thus pulling the support of the Republican Party. There were a lot of good pieces of legislation in the US that got absolutely like shut down like on the spot because of stuff like that. That is the side of politics that I really don't like. I like when politicians have minds of their own and are willing to work with both parties. And I think that what she's saying, the things that she's saying, are policies that are so massively popular with the US public that like it's going to be hard for politicians to say no to those things.
fracking in Pennsylvania or anywhere else.
Okay. Thank
That's
you,
what
Mr.
her
President.
plan is until just recently.
I just need
Lindsay,
to
go ahead.
respond
No,
because
Trump-
no, the
President
former
Trump-
president has
No,
said
I'm
something
sorry.
twice that I need to
No,
respond to.
I'm sorry. We're
I
gonna
just need to
move on,
respond
Vice
one
President
time
Harris.
to what he has
President
said.
I
Trump,
hate
this
this
is
part of
now
the- I
your
hate this
third
part of the
time
debate.
Running for president, you have long vowed to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. You have failed to accomplish that. You now say you're going to keep Obamacare, quote, unless we can do something much better. Last month, you said, quote, we're working on it. So tonight, 9 years after you first started running, do you have a
Unbiased.
plan, and
That's
can you
correct,
tell us what
Sammy.
it is?
Obamacare was lousy health care.
The most unbiased person in this debate is me.
And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it. But remember this, I inherited Obamacare because Democrats wouldn't change it. They wouldn't vote for it. They were unanimous. They wouldn't vote to
I don't know
change
what
it.
he's
If
saying.
they would have done that, we would have had a much better plan than Obamacare. But the Democrats came up, they wouldn't vote for it. I had a choice to make when I was president. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, never going to be great, or do I let it rot?
I love that. I love
felt
that
I
like
had an
underhanded
obligation,
comment.
even though
Yeah, we
politically it
should
would've
never
been
gonna be
to
good.
Just let it rot and let it go away. I decided, and I told my people, the
MF
top
years
people,
of
and they're very
subbage.
good people. I have a lot of good people.
Damn, brother
We got the
Sammy,
bad ones, we had
2
some real
years,
bad ones,
man.
too, and so
Thank
do
you.
they. They have really
Holy
bad ones. The
shit.
difference is they don't get rid of them.
That's
They just-
crazy. And hey, look at
I had a
19 minutes,
choice to
brother.
make. Do I save it?
Or
and make
19
it
minutes
as
until
good
the
as
day
it
is
can be,
here.
Or do I let it
My
rot?
goat.
And I saved it. I did the right thing. But
Holy
it's still
shit.
never going to be
4
great, and it's too
years.
expensive for
4.5
people.
years
And
of
what we will
following,
do
man.
is we're looking at different plans. If
That's
we
actually
can come
fucking
up with a plan
nuts.
that's gonna cost our people, our
It is nuts.
population less money and be better
Sammy, I hope
healthcare
you've
than
been liking. Dude,
Obamacare, then
I want
would
you guys to know. I
absolutely-
also, I've not been paying attention to what Trump has been saying. I don't know this stuff. Like he's not actually talking policy. That's the thing. He's not talking policy. We don't care. He's just talking about how bad Obamacare is, right? Unless he actually did say policy stuff and I missed it, in which case, my bad. I'll own that. I hope you like the TikToks I sent you, Sammy. My TikTok feed has been absolutely unreal recently. Absolutely, like, legendary polls coming from my For You page. I felt bad because I spammed a lot of them. Oh my god, Sammy, I've actually been, I want you to know, I've not been sending you things because I'm like, I've sent so many. I think Sammy might actually be concerned.
do it. But until then, I'd
What? What? What?
Lot of truth here. On the other side of it, I do want to point out that every time Kamala Harris was
Raped. And so on
Vice
national
President
security,
Harris.
including the importance
All right, I guess that's all we're watching. Oh, okay. Hey, look at I'm glad you both liked them. All right, brother. Hey, look at you might not know what you just signed up for actually. Because I've had some wild shit recently. Hey, look at, yeah, we just lost the broadcast rights. We might have. Low key. Yeah, I like when I get spammed though. Dude, I love when I pull up TikTok and I see that someone sent me like 7 videos because I'm like, yes. I have something to do for the next 30 minutes. Or sometimes it's like, dude, sometimes it's like 5 minutes. You know what? I think we covered enough. Honestly, I think that was pretty good for our first time. I'm not exactly the best political commentator, but I think we did all right. I think we had some fun. I think we got some funny moments from that. I loved when she brought up all these like great points. Like, dude, the $25,000 first time home buyer assistant program is so good for the American public because there's so many young people that want to buy homes that just like physically will never be able to afford it without assistance. And I think that's so cool that they're doing something like that. And then he immediately is like, she wants to end fracking and she wants to take your guns. That was so good, man. That was so funny. Next Hassan, dude, I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Actually, go to Hassan and tell him to raid me right now. He has 89,000 viewers. I think I could use a couple of those. Dude, that would be amazing. Yeah, that would be an incredible policy to do. Especially, dude, if she does that like day one, if she wins, like she instantly is getting reelected. Like that's her next. She can run her entire next election off the fact that she actually implemented a policy that helped the American people. I feel like we haven't gotten anything like that in like 15 years now. First 100 days are most important. Yeah, they really are. They are. But then again, like, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to see. It's tough to tell what exactly is going to happen. I think I really do think that Trump is just going to lose because again, he actually has nothing that he's running on other than the fact that literally everything he said was actually Kamala Harris hates every American person and she's letting criminals come into the country from every other country in the world and it's making their crime statistics go down. That was actually something that he said in that debate. He said they're coming from every other country in the world and their crime rates in every other country is going down. And James over on YouTube was fact checking him live saying, yeah, there's definitely less crime here, man. Like, bro, come on, man. Oh, brother, you know. Yeah, I think he's gonna lose. I'm glad we're in the same boat, though. You know what? I'm pretty happy with the way that went. Because again, all I wanted to do, my only goal for watching that was just to hear that somebody has a plan, right? As long as somebody has a plan to do something with this country, great. Like so I have one job. I'm starting a second one next month, and then I also potentially will have a third job once I finish my classes. So it's like, yes, I'll be happy to be making a decent amount of money, but I don't want to have to work 3 jobs for my entire life, you know? I'm hoping that we can get to a point in our country where, you know, things aren't as fucked as they are. Rent prices aren't as crazy as they are. Home prices aren't as crazy as they are. Food prices. Dude, I spend like $100 at the grocery store a week. Not a week, probably every week and a half, 2 weeks. That was fun. Get some sleep, my friend. Some quality sleep. Don't go burning out on us. Good night. James, have a wonderful night, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out, man. This is a lot of fun. Groceries are insane. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what grocery prices are now. So I love the fact that Kamala Harris came out with actual, you know, like actual policy plans. I like the fact that Trump said some funny things and we were able to like kind of farm some clips out of that. I'll probably be going through the stream and trying to get some TikToks made. I don't know yet. I might even make a full-blown video from that. But that'll actually be kind of like a hard one to do. So we're gonna see. But I think I am gonna end. I think I am probably gonna end and maybe honestly maybe do some editing tonight. If I don't do some editing, I'm going to bed right now. I gotta figure it out. Yeah, I think Trump would beat Kamala in golf. I would agree with you on that. Sammy, actually, low-key, I meant to talk to you about this. I fixed my drive, by the way. I fixed my drive, and I'm absolutely crushing the ball right now. so hey, golf stream soon, potentially. If I can figure out how to live stream on the go, I actually do want to do a golf stream. Good night, Braden. What did I change? Okay, so number one for my swing, we're just gonna do this on stream. I don't care at this point. So, what I was doing was, when I was swinging, I would turn the club in my hand, but I wasn't changing the way I was actually holding the club. So when I was swinging, the club was actually, I was turning my wrists as I swung, opening the club face out, and that's why I was slicing. So what I did was, as I turned the club, I'm also turning my hands this way in anticipation of hitting the ball like this. So now, when I'm swinging through, I'm actually now hitting the ball dead on, because I think I just have a weird swing. So until I actually like full on fix my swing, that's what I have to do. Bro, I go with my dad to the driving range, and he goes on his phone. You changed the same thing? Dude, that's okay. Yes. Yep. So I do the opposite. I flick my wrists away from the ball. I flick it away, and that's what I changed anyway. So my wrists are a little bit behind, I think. So I'm still kind of like baseball swinging a little bit, I guess. But so I'm at the driving range with my dad, and I do one, and I slice it, and I'm like, damn. And I literally do what I just said. I twist the club, but then I'm like, I twist my wrists as I do it, and I get the ball on, and I literally go like this. My dad's still on his phone, and I smack the ball. I smack it, and dude, I crushed it. I don't know exactly how far it went, but I was like, and I literally turned to him, and I was like, you just missed it. I just fixed my drive. And to be fair, it's not 100% yet. Like, I'm still, like, I still have a couple of issues with my swing still. Like, I have an issue with lifting my head and lifting my shoulders a little bit when I swing. So there's occasional times where I'm, like, topping the ball and, like, I have those typical issues still. But I literally, like, my last couple ones, I literally just, put it right through. I saw this TikTok that said it's like a tennis forehand, and I was like, I flick my wrist when I hit one, and I smoke a 6-iron 180, which is like 20 yards further than normal. I top the fuck out of the ball. Yeah. Well, you know what it is? I focused a lot on keeping myself down, especially when I used my irons. Actually, dude, my 60 degree, I was hitting the dude, I actually figured out my 60 degree too, because I was full swinging, but I was actually forcing my body down on the swing and forcing myself under the ball, and I was following through with it. So there's telephone wires right at the driving range, right in front of the tee boxes. Dude, they're like probably 15 to 20 yards out. Not yards, they're 15 to 20 feet out, and they're up probably about like 30 feet. I was hitting the ball over the telephone wires. I was literally popping it so perfectly. So now I'm like, oh my god. When I go, so I'm going to play on Thursday in a tournament after work, which I'm gonna be late too. But I'm gonna go to this tournament, bro, and I'm just gonna try and do everything that I did. And if I do, I legitimately think I might actually play the best round of golf of my life, which I'm excited for. Yeah, that's more than likely. It never translates, bro. Well, I'm more worried about I'm gonna get out of work and be tired because I have to open. So I'll be there 4:30 to 9 on Thursday. Tournament starts at 8, so I'm getting there an hour late at least, and I'm walking right onto the course and I'm having to play. Where are you working? I'm just working at a local gym. Doing opening shifts at a local gym for a few days a week. So I started today. So I started training today. Training for the next like 2 weeks. It'll be pretty sweet. free membership after 90 days. So you know, it's not too bad. Work there. I plan on working there for a while, because it's like you know, I'll do personal training at the other gym in the afternoons. So open 3 days a week at this place, potentially more if they need me, and then personal training in the afternoon, and then hopefully finish up the real estate courses and do that and make a little bit of money, you know. So that'll be cool. Get that bag, dude. That's what I'm trying. 2025, I want that to be my year, right? I want that to be my year that I get shit done. Trying to make that the thing. Been a little too stagnant. 2025 bread is different, yeah. Well, you know what it is? I also, dude, I want to get real with content, and I feel like I struggle with the editing aspect. I feel like I don't like my own editing style, and I don't know how to change it. So if I make a little bit of money, like once a month, I just pay someone to edit a video. You know what I mean? With the money that I hopefully make. Because I think doing like once a week would be too expensive. Do once a month, have someone edit a video. At the very least, putting out a little bit more content, right? Pay what, like couple hundred bucks a month for a video? More content means more views. Exactly. More views means bigger. True. And look at the thing is, more views means more likely that like the right person sees. And maybe I make a video and like, you know, like Hassan Piker watches it on stream. To his he has 83,000 viewers right now. 83,000 people watch that video and they go, wait a minute, I like this guy's videos, I'm gonna go watch more. That's the idea, right? That's also why I probably should edit tonight. Dude, I actually, Sammy, I want to go back and stream from the Tarkov session that we had the other day, and get the clip of me tapping you in the back of the head. I think I should go do that. I gotta do that tonight, cause bro, I think I kill you, and then I think you just go, oh, I'm dead, and I just look at the camera. Remember at Fortress? You went in and fought a guy, and you might have killed him, but he had a teammate. So you ran outside and you were super hurt, and you had a scav backpack on. So you ran outside and I didn't know it was you, so I just tapped you. Yeah, and you were like, oh dude, I think a scav killed me. And I was like, yeah, man, that's tough. And you're just like, wait a minute. Yeah, I think I gotta go and try and clip that. You know, let's pull it up right now. Also, I'm gonna open up Tarkov, because I don't know what I have going on here. Video producer, clips. Oh, I can't go to clips actually. Okay, which one was it? Probably this one, right? The first one. Oh no, it's the next one. That's this one. Oh. Oh, was it this guy? Hold my keck. Why do I remember him? Oh. That one was fucked. I didn't even see him there, man. Was it this? Okay, we're in a party now in this. Okay, Okay, no, you died to Partisan right there. It was the raid before. It was the raid before that one. Oh, it's this one right here. Yeah, look at me just being a rat and looting. I think you're in the process of fighting them right now too. Okay, you're already dead. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can get the. Oh, this is 1080p. This looks like trash on YouTube, man. You good? Dude.
Ticket to the stash bar.
I'm dumping your gear right now. Yeah, that's where a scav starts fucking me up, bro. My camera blocking? No! Okay, hang on. Hold up. Where is this? Oh, Tarkov. Tarkov is currently blocking. Where is this? Alright, fuck it. Let me just drag that over here. Dude, the quality is so bad on Twitch. The bitrate is terrible. Am I wearing the same exact outfit? I think I am. Yeah, I start getting absolutely destroyed by a scav, right? Scav starts owning me. I dump your stuff. I dump your gun right there, and I'm like, oh my god, where am I being shot from? Oh no, actually, a scav is shooting me. Oh my god, brother! Literally getting destroyed. Also, Sammy, happy birthday, brother! Happy 9/11, man! Fucking Raider, what is happening? Yeah, I get fucking railed by a scav. Then the player that you were fighting originally. Oh my god, dude, we got a fucking another view botter. Of course, man. Hey, I hope you have a wonderful birthday, man. I hope you and your friend have a wonderful time celebrating. I hope you guys go have a fun time and eat some good food. And then I die to ditch your rig right there. I'm dead. Dude, come on, dude. Oh my god, bro. Oh, not the same outfit, by the way. Not the same outfit. I do want to get that clip though, where I shoot you and you go, I'm dead, and I go, oh. I think that's my favorite part of that. Is I just go, actually a very banger clip, yeah. So dude, I'm gonna go and clip that and edit it after this. Yeah, but dude, I thought you were fighting the scav, and I thought you were the scav that ran out, and I was just like, as soon as you said I'm dead, it was like literally that noise that I made was my actual heart sinking into my stomach, bro. Sammy, you wanna also before I go, because I did just want to hang out until until it was officially 9/11. My money's not looking good, Sammy. My money's not looking good. But that's because I bought this. Bro, I literally so the other day I was just like, man, I really want to just go farm shoreline. I really do. And I was like, I had like 16 mil stash worth, but I actually had like 200k rubles. So I just went through and sold as much stuff as I could. Like, this was full before. This was full. And I just sold everything out of it. And I was like, all right, I have 4 mil. I go and I look. And they're up. So they were, I bought mine for like 3.1. So, if you need to go shoreline, holler at your boy. I'm down for it. But I'm gonna go to bed. I'm fucking. Actually, no. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna clip that, and I'm gonna edit it and get it ready for tomorrow. And maybe, possibly, maybe start editing what we just did. I'm grinding stats homework right now. Bored as fuck. That sounds horrible. I won't lie. Yeah. I don't blame you. Stats suck. Although from what I heard in my school, stats was great because the teacher just kind of let you walk out of the classroom whenever you wanted. Test tomorrow, or I guess today. Oh. Yeah, but you don't have to be in for school until like what, like 11 or something like that. Are you out of school by 11 now? You wake up at 11? Holy shit, brother. That's fucking crazy. Damn. Well, brother, if you want to do some gaming, if you're going to be home tomorrow, let me know. But I'll totally get it if you got plans tomorrow. Yeah, just let me know. Or today. I guess you're right, today. If you want to do some gaming today, let me know. Yeah, I'm gonna go get this stuff done and then go to bed. And hopefully be up early tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, dude. James, thank you on YouTube. Appreciate you, my friend. Hey, if I don't talk to you, Sammy, have a wonderful birthday. And yeah. Thanks again for watching over on TikTok. You know what? Actually, low-key, our TikTok stream got suppressed hardcore because I put debate watch party, and I have an advisory to learn more about U.S. elections, which sucks. Hey, you know, it is what it is. All right, have a wonderful night. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.